Welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode, a chill, easygoing podcast where my husband and I talk usually pretty chill about video games that we're playing.
Yep, that's us.
So I'm one of your hosts, Deanna, and...
I'm David.
Yay. So, I want to start this episode real quick. We got our first rating on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Although Spotify only does stars, they don't actually do reviews. So, I just want to read out this review from Galatrad. Shout out to Galatrad for being super awesome for us. And his comment on Apple Podcast is, I've missed this. 5 stars. I went from having a commute to having no commute, and I lost a lot of time I had to listen to GameRomp. But now that things have slowed down at work, I am finally able to start listening regularly again, and I'm so excited to catch up. You're all awesome. Such chill vibes and unique perspectives. Yay. So, thank you again, Galatrad.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
So, yeah, unique perspectives. So, I don't know. Is that... okay, if it's unique, I guess that means that it's not super common, but it's just like... I guess you have the perspective of being the gamer who's been gaming since, like, the early 90s. I joined probably, I guess you could say, mid to late 90s. Because, like, I had the NES. No, I had the Super NES. But my main console, way back in the day, was the N64 and then the original Game Boy Brick.
Huh. I don't know if we talked about this before or not, but yeah, technically my first console that we owned was an Atari. I forget, I think it was the 2600 or
I don't think
like
I've even touched an Atari, so yeah.
Because my cousins had gotten the NES, and they're like, well, we don't need this Atari anymore. They gave me the Atari.
Lucky.
And then later, when I got an NES finally, I was like, well, I don't need this Atari anymore because I have an NES. So I gave the Atari to some neighbors, and my parents were pissed. They're like, you shouldn't be giving away stuff like this. But yeah, I've been gaming.
Do you regret that since then?
I mean, not really. My NES eventually made its way to my cousins in Costa Rica, and then my Super NES ended up breaking. My N64 I sold to buy a PlayStation 1. And no, I don't have any of my old consoles, but that's fine. I think the oldest console I have is the Wii. The Wii is probably the oldest console we own, unless you count the 3DS.
I don't remember which one came out.
No, the DS.
Yeah,
or did we get the DS after? Well, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we've been playing games for a long time, and we have different perspectives on which games we like to play too, so that's what I find interesting and fun about chatting with you, because we play different games, and it's good to kind of like broaden our horizons without necessarily having to play the games we don't really want to play.
I suppose. But I'm just thinking, like, as far as unique perspectives go, that, like, I don't know, we listen to a few different gaming podcasts, but I guess they're more like the, like, journalistic side of things. And we're not doing journalism here.
Also, another thing that I kind of want to bring to the table is that because we are husband and wife, we, I don't know, have like I don't know if the closer relationship matters when we talk about gaming, but like it's kind of nice to... It feels like whenever we hear people talking about games, they're talking with their friends and stuff. And, you know, that's fine and great, too. But it's kind of fun to imagine other couples out there playing games together or enjoying games together.
Yeah, that seems to be pretty... Maybe I shouldn't say rare. But even when I worked at the cafe and I talked about, oh, you know, does anyone here play video games? And not only did seemingly no one play video games, at least to the degree that even I did, and I would say I'm pretty casual, all things considered. But one of my coworkers was like almost actively anti-gaming, which is weird. But I mean her choice. But she's just like, "Oh, you waste time on video games," and I'm like, "Yeah."
It's I think for some people in the general public, like, especially for those who don't play games, like they see their husband or boyfriend or whatever playing games and wasting hours. And there have been times where certain couples don't do it in a healthy manner, where the guy will be playing like Fortnite or World of Warcraft. Like, oh, I'm raiding, so, you know, I can't help you or do anything in real life for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, that's
and that
true.
kind of thing can be bad, but
And that definitely gives it bad luck. Actually, that kind of goes into what I assume is going to be today's main topic, is that we've been playing Minecraft together a lot. And that's like, yes, we're gaming for hours, but it's like together, but it's also parallel play, especially if I have a thing where I like going and spelunking in the mines and getting lost and, you know, sometimes dying to mobs and whatnot while you're off flying in your little airplane. But then sometimes we do work together in the game, and I'm collecting the supplies that you use to construct the house and stuff.
yeah, we each have our own goals, and it's just nice to be able to do things that the other person doesn't want to do all the time. Like, I mean, I like mining and going into the caves once in a while too, but
Not to the degree that I seem to.
I don't know. I haven't felt the need to do it lately, and I'm fine with that because it just becomes samey. I kind of, even in the overworld, like, I'll see some adventurous stuff like, ooh, what's this tower, or what's this, camp, and like I'll go do that. But I don't know. It's nice to have somebody doing some of the extra stuff, so that like when I do have to go back to build, it's like, oh, there's some extra stuff in here that I didn't know was there, so I don't have to worry about like, oh, I gotta go get coal or something like that.
Yeah, whereas like I'm like, well, I feel like spelunking for right now, so I'll just go. And I don't know how many hours yesterday, especially I was gone for, well, maybe 1 or 2 hours. Time doesn't really mean anything in Minecraft or any game sometimes. But then I came back after that long hike down into the middle of the world, and they must have like updated and made the bedrock even further down, because I felt like I was going down into the earth for like fucking ever. And I finally made it to a lava pool, but I didn't hit bedrock at all, and I was going down and down. It was like that staircase in Silent Hill. It just went on and on and on. So they must have, if you will, upgraded it. Or maybe one of the fucking 300 something mods we got running.
Did you notice any unique cave biomes? Because apparently there's a bunch of new cave biomes.
Again, I'm not going to know the difference between a mod that we have or vanilla. There was, I guess it's called dripstone, so there's a lot of stalactites and stalagmites. I don't remember which one's from the top and which one's from the bottom. So I did come into a section like that. And then towards the end, before I teleported out, because I admit I took the easy way out this time, I was in, a pretty big cavern. And it was interesting too, because not only were there the usual skeletons and the zombies and blah, 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 but again, because we have Cobblemon, there was a couple of Graveler, there was a couple of Geodudes, there was the, I forget if it's the Rattata coloration from Sword and Shield, the one where it's like the black Rattata.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to try and capture it, but I accidentally killed it instead, so whoopsies. But it was just like this really massive cavern and just walking around, and I found what I guess you would call as 2 little campsites, and they were like within eyeshot of each other, so that was interesting. And go into the campsites, and I didn't have the flint and tinder, so I didn't actually get to light the fires, which doesn't do anything other than light, obviously. There was a green bed, a yellow bed. I should have taken one, but I had so much shit on me, like, holy crap.
We don't really need beds.
No, but I kind of like the different dyes, but then we can just dye our beds. I don't know, whatever.
And we have sleeping bags too, which is very helpful.
Oh my god, yes. Just because, like, especially when you're in the mines, I can't tell when it's dark out. So if you need me to sleep, I can just basically lay down anywhere. It doesn't even seem to register if there's mobs around. Like, I haven't been too close, but...
So yeah, because we're using mods, obviously, I think the sleeping bag is a mod. I'm not sure.
Definitely.
But I know there's also the other mods are like, if a majority of people playing or like half of the people playing they go to sleep, then it'll count. But it's like, I guess the sleeping bag, I have to ask you, like, hey, can you please sleep?
Yeah, and it's usually pretty easy. As long as there's 2 squares I can lay down, I just plop it down and boom. And it doesn't change anything for me, so it doesn't really matter. But another thing I also enjoy, other than spelunking and I guess, what was the area with the big old scary new boss you said it was?
I think it's called the Shulk or Skulk.
Skulk, something like that. I didn't do that yesterday, but a couple of days earlier. That was very interesting. So it's like they got these little, I would almost call them coral, because they're kind of living in the sense that they seem to react to light. Like if I'm holding my torch, this like little energy thing will kind of go towards the coral beast, whatever it's called, and it'll just like respond. They don't attack. They don't seem to attack. I haven't walked on them either, so maybe if you're an asshole that happens. But then there's other ones, I guess they send out a signal or something. And then eventually I started hearing like, yeah, something like scratching. And then I went underground to get away from it because I saw something move. And I was like, I'm not staying around for this. And I was underground and I could hear it sniffing, like sniffing around. And I guess it sounded like it was digging, but I didn't see any of the gravel above me move or start to deteriorate.
Huh.
But it was like a survival horror type of thing.
Wow.
It was so cool. Like, it's scary, and like the lights, even if you're holding a torch and there's torches all around you, the lights will go out and it'll get darker and you can just hear it and it'll start stalking you, I guess, or skulking you, whatever you want to call it. I didn't see it. I managed to run away, but it was just like, wow, this is awesome. Like, it's kind of terrifying, but more interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just...
Yes. It's interesting because
so cool.
I've seen mod packs that try to make Minecraft scary, and like they'll add like monsters and change the mood and make it almost misty and spooky or whatever.
Silent Hill-ish.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I see like the screenshots or the videos of it. It's like, that looks kind of silly, but I don't know. Maybe in the moment it could be.
So yeah, I didn't see the monster, but I heard it. And it sounds like a dog-like monster with the sniffing and the... I don't remember if there was growling or not, but then the digging, I was like, oh my god, this thing is after my ass. So yeah. Mining in Spelunking's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How was your adventure in the airplane?
Why did I do that? I remember...
Because you like airplanes, right?
I remember I wanted to get string, right? So my whole goal was I need string. And I knew that the swamp biome had like the cattail plants that you can turn their fluff into string or something. Or trying to find flaxseed, I think.
Which I did manage to find 2 seeds in the mines.
So the goal was, yeah, to find either of those. And I figured, well, surprisingly, somehow, even though I don't have string, I have enough supplies to build an airplane.
Good thing airplanes don't need string.
Yeah, so I used that to fly around to look for swamps and flax, which I did not end up finding at all, so go figure. Because, like, I wanted to build a ship, a really cool ship, but I needed a lot of, like, ropes and stuff, which I guess you need strings for.
Makes sense.
So go figure, it was easier for me to build an airplane than it was to build a regular-ass ship. I mean, not a Minecraft little canoe boat, but, like, a nice, slightly bigger ship that we could both ride and store stuff on.
A mod ship.
Although flying, not yesterday, but the other day, we were playing on a different Cobblemon world. I forget why we changed out of that one, but you had found a cave with the one of the new cave biomes with the plants and stuff hanging in it.
Oh, yeah.
I forget.
Wow, that was pretty, but holy shit,
I think they're like
monsters.
called lush green caves or something like that, and some of the plants have like little glowing berries, so it's pretty lit up. And normally, yeah, it'll be lit up so it's safe, but because this was a giant cavern version, there were still plenty of dark areas. And you're like, oh, this might be a good place to create a home or a base. So we go there, and it's fucking full of monsters.
Yeah, that's a oopsie daisy mistake.
Yeah.
Not only were there the regular zombies and the creepers and the skeletons, but then I also tried to go and get a chest. I guess it was at one of the camps inside.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was a fucking mimic, and holy shit, I got my ass handed to me.
And I think the creepers in there were the special, like, dark woods creepers, which, like, when they explode and you're nearby, they can kind of blind you for a bit.
Oh shit, really?
And
I
that's
guess I
probably
didn't realize
that's
that.
probably why you were running around like blind half the time. Like I can't see anything. I can't see anything. So I was like,
No, I was just blind because it was dark.
I could see just fine.
I don't know.
So you
Maybe
must
it's
have
my
been.
screen.
I think you must have been affected by one of those creepers. Yeah, because they make it look like it's really dark. Like it's very hard to see anything. You were being chased by like I swear like 10, 12 mobs, and I was like, I can't believe you brought us here. So I had the little gyrocopter from the immersive aircrafts mod,
Oh yeah.
and I put it down and I jump in and I'm like firing it up, and finally I get it in the air and I'm just like watching you run around, and I'm like, oh my god, what a mess. But I figured, you know what, I'm gonna try to do a chopper rescue.
Oh, that
So
was pretty cool.
so I like try to fly down and find you and trying to like, I'm over here, and you're like, I can't see, and I finally fly in front of you and get low enough. I'm getting shot at by the skeletons.
And I managed to jump in.
Yeah, so you jump in the copter and we fly out and leave all the monsters behind.
Oh my god, yeah, that was actually pretty cool. A chopper, get into chopper rescue. It's like, that was, when you think about it and you like apply more imagination to it, it does seem pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
It was like an adventure movie.
it was fun. Then we left and never returned to that cave.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
And then,
But it was so pretty.
yeah, well, I mean, you can still see those caves in the world we are in. I know I've seen
Yeah,
a
I'm
few,
sure.
and just they're nice to visit and go through, but I don't know if you would want to live in one. Actually, maybe if we find one, we can like try to clip down the plants and bring them to the home.
Yeah, maybe we can transplant the plants.
We finally made a new home because we had found this little ravine at the end of this river, and I'm like, ooh, I want to build a house over this ravine and like connect one side of the river to the other, like in a Panama Canal kind of thing. And we did, and I built this cool like bridge house over it, and like put this cool garden on the roof, and then you found a new area, like this place looks like a great place for a home, and I'm like, okay, let's go build there instead.
It's just hard because, like, the mountains, whether they're vanilla mountains or modded mountains, what have you, they're pretty, but they are, for me, I mean, I'm bad at building in general, but they're such a pain in the ass to try and build a house on.
I mean, I was the one building the house.
No, I know, but, like, your house was more bridge than house.
Yeah, it definitely was.
It
I made
was
it
very
too
thin.
long.
It was a long house, yes.
Yeah, it took a lot of materials. This new house is more cozy with a little attic. I think it fits pretty
I
good.
think we kind of might have to widen it a tiny bit, especially if you want to decorate inside with like a full kitchen or something. But I guess that'll.
I kind of like
come up.
cozy. We'll see. We'll see if we need to expand it. I mean,
What I was thinking was making like a barn meets Pokemon Center, because we have the healing machine and we'll have the PC, and then I think if you have an additional PC, you can make like a, I forgot what it's called exactly, like a ranch. Let's just call it a ranch PC. So instead of just keeping all the additional Pokemon inside the PC, you use the ranch PC, and I guess you can like let them roam in the area.
oh wow.
So I really want to set that up and make it like, yeah, a merge between a barn looking and like classical barns, I guess, are already a red. And so is the Pokemon Center. So it'd be like, it would make sense. So that the Pokemon can go in there, they'll have their bedding and stuff, and then they'd have, we would have the PCs in there and the healing machine if need be, so.
It would almost be like Pal World, where you can have a house where you see all the Pokemon running around.
Yes, but better, because this is, Minecraft has so many mods that Pal World probably will never match up to.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, but
because of
true.
Minecraft mods, yeah. Okay, I didn't even know that was an option. We're still trying to get the PC, but
Yeah.
I have like Pokemon that are trapped in like this concept of a
void.
PC.
Yeah. They're trapped in the void. I got a few of those too, unfortunately. I did find, I forgot its name. It's like a little donkey. I would love it. I don't know if this is a thing that Cobblemod has added in at any point yet. But oh my god, if I could put a saddle on the donkey, that would be the greatest thing ever.
I bet you could, considering you can shear the sheep Pokemon.
That's what I was hoping, yeah.
I was thinking about that with like a Ponyta, but I haven't
Yeah.
caught a Ponyta yet.
So there's hopefully a lot of options. But oh my god, I can't wait. And then also, sort of connected to maybe in the idea of like adventuring and spelunking and stuff, I enjoy going around on the top world and collecting all the different trees and flowers and saplings and stuff. So on another part, I don't know if our thing counts as an island. I know we're kind of between two rivers.
Yeah, I don't think it's an
remember.
island. I think it's just like the tip of like where the river
I guess
splits.
a peninsula, I guess you would call it maybe.
Sure, for a river.
Either way, on the other end of it, I want to set up like a... Is an orchard just like the fruit trees? But basically, I'm just collecting all the different trees. So I just want to plant those. That way we have wood options.
Yeah, we still need to set up the
Because
farm
holy
too.
shit, there's a ton of wood types that we have and all different kinds of crazy fucking colors that we can eventually decorate with and stuff.
Yeah, there's still a lot to mess around with.
Yeah. Wow, it's been a long while since I've been able to hyperfixate, if you will, on a game like this.
Oh, well, that's
Because
good,
like
I
I was
guess.
playing Banished for a little bit, but it's kind of like, yeah, you know, it's cute, but yes, once in a while, especially because we're playing together and helping each other.
And
I
there's
don't
new
know,
things
just...
to explore and see because of the
Yeah.
mod packs.
And especially since you got fucking planes now, like, holy shit.
Yeah, I
But you
think
said the biplane was one passenger only, right?
actually I upgraded it yesterday.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Yay! And you know how to fly and land correctly now, right?
Now, yeah, I figured it out. I mean, it's still kind of janky, but it works fine. I kind of like the copter is just more, I don't know, just feels nicer to fly. But this is faster.
Yeah, so, well, obviously you have different ones for different modes. So
Oh yeah,
when you need to explore to try and find a swamp, you use the fast one.
yeah,
And then if you want to just take a leisurely fly around, then you take the slow one.
yeah. At one point we had so we had the old base, and before we decided to move to the new places, I was like, well, I'm pretty close to being able to build this airship, and we can like load up a bunch of chests on the airship.
Oh yeah, because we were doing the move.
Yeah, so we built this nice little airship that can fit 2 people and had like 4 chests on it. And we just basically took almost everything from our old base, flew it over to the new area, and started our new home there.
That was cool too.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucked was at the time, one of the mods, was it EMI? What's it called? Even more items, I think. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that will show on the side of the screen all the items you can build, and you can look up the recipes and yada yada.
Yeah.
From the beginning, for some reason, I don't know why they toggled this on, but whatever, we figured it out. I was trying to load items or take items out from the airship, and I didn't realize that if I held the item with my cursor over the section that showed all those items, it would like automatically delete the item. And so I was like, wait, didn't I put such and such inside the airship? And I'm looking around, I'm like, I can't find this thing. And then it finally hits me. I read the tooltip and it says delete item. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Lost a
So,
few things. Nothing too important, but yeah.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But I went into the mod and configured it, so we figured that out. But yeah, being able to just, if you will, take what life we had started in that area, put it into a ship, and do a big old move into a new area.
Yeah. Slow and steady, but we got there. That ship was slow.
Eh,
It was fun.
it did
though.
its purpose. I mean,
Yeah.
it's this,
It's a U-Haul.
yeah. So it's trying to haul like what you would assume is like thousands of pounds of shit. Like, yeah, it's gonna be slow. And also, I had to help you navigate to the new home area because I had the beacon on my screen, but you couldn't see the beacon that I had. So I was like, okay, just head northeast and just go straight from there.
Yeah, I guess you could have used the ping, the multiplayer ping, or I don't know. There might be some way of sharing it, but this worked out fine.
This was more interactive, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Like, oh, I know where we're going because I explored the area and I put it on my map, and now I have to help you get there.
Yeah, fun times. This is the first time I played Minecraft in years, too.
Yeah. And just mod packs are amazing. Mods are amazing. Adventuring with you is amazing.
Yeah, I definitely recommend if anyone's going to play Minecraft on PC to try the Prism launcher. You can just download a mod pack and like, oh, they have cultivated this little set of mods for like Cobblemon Pokemon, basically. And
Yeah.
you can just run it and not have to think too hard about it. It just works.
Yeah,
Or,
I think the specific one we're using that it mostly seems to be Cobblemon, but it also has like some Stardew elements. Like it has the seasons in it.
the farming, yeah.
I think that mod pack is called Big Chad Guys.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if
think
that's like a
it must be a YouTuber or something.
Twitch stream or something. So that's the
Yeah.
one we happen to be using, minus some additions and subtractions that we personally want.
Yeah, before that I was using The Pond, which is another YouTuber one, and that one's pretty good too. There's a bunch of them. There's like realistic Minecraft or something. I forget what they call it. Realism craft.
Yeah,
And like they
I'm
change
sure
it.
there's a crazy textures.
They change it so no, not for visual, but like you can't just punch trees.
Oh,
You
that
have to
kind of
find like
realistic.
flint and stone and like sticks to make flint axes, and you have to worry about water and temperature stuff like that.
That's almost too much for me. Or at
Really?
the very least, like I have other games for realism-ish things.
I don't know. I kind of want to try that again because like the Cobblemon is fine and they're fun to see, but I haven't really been doing much with the Pokemon, to be honest with you.
I go back and forth. Like I've been catching the Pokemon that I actually would want, like say in real life or something.
Whereas like with the last mod pack we were playing, like I feel like the world generation in that one, and especially because that one had Distant Horizons on.
Okay, that's fair.
For some reason we can't get Distant Horizons to work with this mod pack, which sucks because that one is probably one of the mods between that and the shader. You get those two working together, the game looks beautiful. Like you just see
Yeah,
mountains
I
in the
guess.
distance and it's like wow.
I think it's a conflict between Distant Horizons and Iris for some reason, but I don't know why.
Yeah, and it sucks because Iris is the one that gives you the shaders. So like if we take off Iris, then we lose the shaders.
But that's weird. We had the shaders on with, it's fine. That's technical stuff no one probably wants to listen to.
Yeah, the other mod pack just made it work. They're supposed to work together, but for some reason in this mod pack it's not, and we're too lazy to fool around with the settings. I mean, we probably could figure it out if we really wanted to, but it's just
It's fine. I can live with it. It's probably silly, and I haven't done super much with it. I've evolved Sprigatito into Florigato and Pidgey into Pidgeotto. I got the dual mouse one, but I kind of don't really like that.
it's a weird. There's a lot of new weird Pokemon. Like when I was playing the Pokemon fan games, sometimes I'd be like, "Is this a real Pokemon or like a fan Pokemon?" And sure enough, oh, it's just real because I haven't played since.
I mean,
Black
God, they
and
almost
white.
have like 1,000 Pokemon at this point, right? If not
Yeah.
over 1,000.
And even in this, like I'm pretty sure all of these are real Pokemon, but
Yeah.
I'll see some of them. I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
And I do like the varieties too, like that black Tauros, which I think is like dark in water or something. Oh my God, but I think it's because of the blue glow to it.
I really like the.
Oh my God.
I like Zigzagoon, and I've always liked Zigzagoon, but I really like the black and white version. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
pretty cute.
from like the whatever game takes place in England. I think is.
I think that's Sword and Shield, right?
Yeah, it's got this black and white Zigzagoon with its tongue sticking out. It's just like,
Bah.
oh, it almost makes you want to have two Zigzagoon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think any of my Pokemon have evolved, so
Poor you.
I just have not been really doing much with them.
They are helpful though, like they'll preemptively attack mobs that are coming after you.
Yeah, they're not great at like killing the mobs for some reason, unless they get better the higher level they are.
I think so, because my Pidgeotto and Florigato did pretty good at protecting me in the caverns.
Maybe their base Pokemon form will determine how good they fight against the Minecraft mobs, because they seem to have like a different health bar if they're just pretending to be Minecraft mobs versus when you're actually battling them as Pokemon. It's funny. This is going to sound awful, but whatever.
Oh boy. Bring on your hot take, sweetie.
It's not a hot take. It's just, so when you fight the Pokemon in this, like, for example, if you fight a Pidgey with your Rattata or whatever, and your Rattata, beats the Pidgey, it's not
They
fainting.
die.
Yeah, you get like chicken meat and feathers after. And like there was a bunny, and I know that if you use bunnies, you can make a backpack out of the rabbit skins or whatever. And it was like one of the few backpacks that actually worked for me. So I was like, oh, this bunny is too high level for any of my Pokemon to beat. So I just used the Minecraft sword, and it was pretty easy.
Oh, no. Oh, the poor bunny Pokemon. That is terrible.
It's not that terrible when you consider how many of the other animals in Minecraft you have to butcher.
I know.
It's funny. That is one thing that's kind of weird, because I don't know why they have this mod in this mod pack, the nature expansion thing, where there's like sheep, or not sheep, but like deer and bears and like more natural animals, and that's great in like a normal Minecraft world. But in this Minecraft Pokemon version, when we already have a ton of new animals in it, it feels kind of weird. Like, because there's so many Pokemon I just don't know, I'll sometimes see like a random animal and be like, is that a Pokemon? No, it's just a raccoon.
Poor you. But it is interesting, like, I don't know if there's a Cobblemon mod for this, but like just replace, say, the chickens with a chicken Pokemon or something, that if you kill them, I guess they drop the chicken meat and the eggs and feathers and stuff. And then if there's like a bear, and then you just replace it with the bear Pokemon, like kind of like that. That way you don't need the animals. You just replace them. Because like Wooloo, and I guess Wooloo's the only sheep one, right?
There's also the electric one. Yeah.
So you can shave those down and you just get wool as if they were like the regular sheep.
Minecraft sheep, yeah. So yeah, one of the mods adds bears. But there's also like Ursaring. And
is there Ursaring in the? I haven't seen one.
Yeah, there was one stomping around our base the other day.
Oh shit, okay.
And luckily, I guess they're not hostile unless you attack them. Some of the Pokemon, you can attack them and they'll run away, or they're too small and scared. But some of them, they will fight back. So like
that also makes sense.
I think I had accidentally hit Tauros when I was doing something with my axe, and like, yeah, it's like, well,
did it kick your ass?
This thing almost killed me. Almost.
I guess that
you can
makes
also
sense.
interrupt it. There was one time I was building the base at the other place, and there was a haunter, like, and it had like spawned under the stairs.
Oh shit, you saw a haunter? I've only seen Ghastly.
Sorry, Ghastly, the first one. And the Ghastly had spawned under the stairs. And I'm like trying to chop down the stairs, and I accidentally hit it with the axe. And I'm like, oh god, it's attacking me. So I like quickly pulled out one of the Pokemons, like, no, you fight it. So it started a Pokemon battle. It stopped fighting me, right? And then I caught it, and it went into the PC limbo where it has lived ever since.
Yeah, I caught a Ghastly, and now it's in limbo as well. Although I will say the only thing that can be kind of tricky is, while I was in the deep cave caverns, I had started, I think it was a battle between a Graveler and Florigato. But if there's mobs around you, they will attempt to attack you. And you can press R to move around, but none of your Pokemon will help you with it. So I was running around trying to beat this thing while the two Pokemon out there were just sitting around waiting to fight. I was like, oh shit.
See,
so make sure the area is clear of hostile mobs, before you start a Pokemon battle.
This is going to be a hot take, but I kind of wish there was a real-time version of the battles for them. I think Pal World kind of spoiled me on that, because like the battles are just so much faster, and it just happens because the rest of the world isn't waiting. So it's kind of silly, like, you two just stand and stare at each other while I have to deal with skeletons and shit. Unfortunately,
yes. And I think I also had my Pidgeotto out as well, but I guess all the Pokemon get frozen into the battle thing, so the Pidgeotto also wasn't helping me. So that was kind of frantic. Thankfully, I didn't die. Anyways, it's been an interesting adventure. I love it, and God, I can't wait to play later.
Well, I'm glad.
And I've also been posting some of the screenshots on Blue Sky. I gotta start posting more of them on things like Tumblr and stuff. That's actually on our GameRomp accounts. So trying to get a little bit more engagement is not going to be easy, but I'm going to try and post on those.
So that's Minecraft, huh? That's all we really played.
Pretty much. We've been just spending absolute hours.
Because I talked about I talked about Zelda last week.
You said you
Yeah.
wanted to talk something about Monster Hunter?
Oh, there was a new Monster Hunter announced. Not Wilds.
Oh, is this the mobile game thingy?
Yeah.
Oof.
Ooh, I forget the name of it. I should have looked this up, but it's a new mobile game made in China. And it's Monster Hunter something. I forget the name, but it's like an open world. They say it's open world. We've only seen like one trailer, so we don't know how much gameplay it is. And people are speculating it's going to be a gacha game.
I
So
mean, it's
like
mobile, so.
so like Genshin, basically, which is not really great, I guess, in some ways, because one of the appeals of Monster Hunter is like, oh, I fought this new monster. I'm gonna go see what cool armor I can make out of it, right? But because the look of the character is tied to the gacha, at least that's what's being speculated. You don't really get that. You'll probably be able to make weapons and stuff, but like you won't be able to like I want to see what cool armor, what this will look like when I wear it. It's like, well, no, you're using this given character, so she's just gonna always look like that, for example.
Yeah, I was wondering, you said gotcha, but like, are there different hunters? I mean, I guess Monster Hunter has different human characters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm like, the thing that gets most done in Monster Hunter is the different kind of monsters. So, like, are you gonna gotcha the monsters?
No, I think the way gacha games are profitable is they make waifus.
Yeah,
So
I
that's what
guess.
it's going to be. It's going to be like, oh, here's I don't know, Elizabeth, and she's wearing this, and here's
This is her
Daniel,
special powers.
and he's wearing this, and it's just going to be the character. And yeah, maybe they'll have like special skills or be tied to certain weapons. Like I actually don't know. I mean, it not much has been revealed yet.
I mean, I guess Genshin Impact also does gotcha for weapons. But yeah,
Yeah,
again, Monster Hunter's kind of gameplay loop is getting the materials to make all the different weapons. So, I don't know.
yeah, we'll have to see.
Not that I really get into Monster Hunter, but it'd still be interesting to see how they do this.
We'll have to see. And it's mobile only, which sucks. At least for Genshin, like you can play on mobile, but you can also play on PC. They're not, so far, they haven't confirmed that they're going to do a PC release. So a lot of the Monster Hunter people are like, well, I guess we'll just like emulate it on PC because nowadays it's a little bit easier to play Android games on PC. So we'll see.
Well, the Google Store itself has the thing you can set up on your PC.
Yeah, you have to like go into the BIOS or something.
Yeah, you have to turn on virtualization, I think it's called.
That looked confusing. I was trying to set up an Android emulator and it's like, oh, you have to restart and go into BIOS, and it's like, okay.
Going into BIOS isn't actually hard as long as you know the key binding for
it's
it.
just I'm sure I'll be able to do it. I didn't feel like I had the energy to do that right now. I was like,
I guess
I'll
we
just
would
do
have
this
to
some other
check
day.
if our BIOS even has the option of virtualization. I don't know how new or old that is.
We'll see. I definitely, if I can play it on PC, I will. There's other gotcha games that are coming out soon. There's a Persona gotcha game coming out soon.
Oh,
And I'm
jeez.
definitely, if it's on PC, which I think it is, I'm definitely going to give that a try just to see because I like Persona a lot. It's going to be like, it looks like Persona 5. It has some of the Persona 5 characters and also a bunch of new characters.
Do they have Persona 4? Because, like, again, I didn't get too into that, but watching you, I forgot, did you want to make Chie your waifu?
Chie was my favorite in 4, yeah. In 5, it was, oh, I don't remember her name, the biker girl. She's got a persona that is like basically a motorcycle that she rides. And that was my waifu in 5.
Is that the character with the, like, red catsuit?
No.
Oh, okay. That's the one I remember.
Yeah, that's Anne. That's one of the first ones you get. So yeah, I'll play the Persona gotcha game and when it becomes available, but I do want to try the Monster Hunter one because I love Monster Hunter and I want to see how in the world are they going to make a free to play Monster Hunter. It sounds like it's going to be an awful idea. And I don't have high hopes. I really don't, but I still want to try it, especially because it's free. Like what do I got to lose?
Yeah.
I really like Genshin. So that was free to play with gotcha and I have my complaints about the game, but like story-wise and adventure, you can have an amazing adventure and see all these stories without paying a dime, and it's really good. You just have to deal with some of the gotcha elements, and not just like the free-to-play gotcha stuff where like, oh, you can't get the character you want, but also there seems to be this weird culture in the world of these Eastern gacha games where you don't level up normally and you have to like just spend a bunch of currency to like level up your character and then spend a bunch of currency to upgrade their attacks and spend a bunch of currency to upgrade their artifacts or whatever. And
Oh yeah, that was really confusing in Genshin for me.
yeah, it's not intuitive. It's really stupid, but
Which is weird because that must be a new, if you will, Eastern gacha game thing. Because way back in the day when we played MapleStory, their stereotype for Eastern games back then was, yeah, they had some gacha things because of like the cash shop. But their issue was like it took fucking ages to level up, but you leveled up normally.
yeah, it was different. I mean, it still takes ages to level up in Genshin, but it's mostly because you can only level up so much with the stuff that they give you. Because you find stuff to like level up your characters when you're exploring the world, but you can also use the time gated stuff to like really boost your characters faster. And that is the unfortunate annoying thing. Like, I'm going to come back to play Genshin when the next update hits because there's going to be a new character that they're introducing that is
Is she cute?
she's cute and she can fly a little bit.
Fancy.
So a lot of these characters have different movement abilities and hers is just like flight, which I mean, that's the best movement ability.
Yeah.
And she's cool, she's cute, yes, but she's also like a cowboy revolver witch.
So it's like spell sword, but spell gunslinger?
Yeah, and her like imagine a witch riding a broom, but she rides like a revolver or something.
Oh my god.
Like her quote unquote broomstick kind of looks like a revolver.
That's ridiculous. You're gonna have to show me.
So like
That is one hell of a mashup, I gotta say.
yeah, it's like I want that character. So I have enough currency saved up to I'm pretty sure pull for her, and we'll see. And then I'll just play through the updated story stuff that they've added over the last few months. So I'll have enough cool stuff to, dip back in, explore the world a bit, get another free like 10, 20 hours of gameplay and put it on pause again.
And then let us know how your adventures go.
Yeah, that's
Oh no, that means I'm gonna have to figure out my own game stuff to play, huh?
that's the way to play these games. It's the same for Fallout 76. At some point I want to go back in and play Fallout 76 to experience the new expanded world because they've like released a new region. And I haven't done that yet, so that'll be like, oh, I'm going to go play this for like, another 10, 20 hours, enjoy it and then dip out. Some people will just play it forever and get like stuck in that end game. I'm going to grind this boss for like every day and just I can't do that shit. Even back in the day when we played WoW, like everyone would be like, well, it's time to, grind the last dungeons and grind the raids and just like that.
And like if you enjoy doing the raid fights over and over again just for your own thing, then that's cool. But you start getting these people who get stuck in a game and then they get mad that the game doesn't update fast enough to give them new things to do. It's like, dude, just play a different game.
Yeah, definitely. You see that with Monster Hunter too. Like, people were complaining when Monster Hunter World came out because like at the end of the game, it's like, oh, what do we do now? There's only so many monsters to hunt. It's like, well, you know what? You played this game for like 80 hours already. Maybe you got your money's worth. It's okay to put it down and play something else. And I get it, especially being like a frugal gamer. I get like wanting to spread that dollar amount as far as you can, but you kind of have to be realistic as to what you can get out of media. I mean, this shit takes a while to make. There are some games out there that are like roguelikes where like you can replay and replay. But even that, like eventually you start seeing the same things over and over. So it's like you just gotta find something else to do after a while.
Gotta diversify, man.
Yeah.
Even if you just diversify with other free-to-play games, Fortnite or something.
Ooh, that's another thing. I cannot play those multiplayer games like Fortnite. I mean, no shame, obviously, but I find the idea of a game like that or Overwatch especially just like, I don't care about taking Tracer to kill her best friend over and over in these battle arenas. I'd rather be like, I want to see what Tracer's story is and what their quest is and what they're doing. Not just, we're going to run around the same arena and kill each other, friend or foe, over and over and over and over and over again. That's just not for me.
I know, like, in the, maybe not the beginning of Fortnite, maybe say the middle-ish or something, I was, like, kind of curious about Fortnite, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like the building aspect. And then they brought out the version that you didn't have to build, and I was like, oh, well, okay, maybe a little bit. And it's just like the general aspect of having to wait in a lobby and wait for everyone to load in and jump from the bus and land and blah, blah, blah. I just didn't really like that aspect. But now I also see, because one of the people in the otter community that I'm a part of, they play Fortnite a lot and they seem to enjoy it, and that's cool. But they're always showing off these like new skins, and Fortnite is just collabing with everything that exists.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, it's not even overwhelming, it's just kind of weird.
It's tricky because at first it's really cool. Like I remember when like Chun-Li and Ryu were at it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and I like kind of like their art style. But then like it does become overwhelming where it's like just everyone exists in here.
Yeah, it's like the world's biggest crossover with anything you can basically imagine.
Magic the Gathering had been doing something similar lately, where like they had the Fallout collab a while back, and that made me like, oh, I want to play the Fallout cards in Magic. That'd be really cool. I want to see all the art and all the abilities, and like
They have Magic has, they did a collab with My Little Pony, which I think none of the cards of My Little Pony are, if you do tournaments, I don't think it's like tournament legal or whatever.
I would want to play like to play the Fallout version if there was like a single player kind of story. I know that sounds crazy, but like Hearthstone did that. If they did something similar to that, like, oh, just come enjoy these cards and see them in this world, because I don't really like multiplayer stuff either, because eventually you're just fighting the same meta decks, and it's just also waiting on people. Oh god, I sound like such a boomer, but like playing against another person, you have to wait for them to play and think. But when you're playing like in the Hearthstone adventure modes, whatever, you're playing against the AI, so it's so much faster.
Yeah.
And like you're constantly building new decks. It's such a good format that I wish more games would do. But I think Magic is also collaborating with Final Fantasy next.
Oh geez.
So like a bunch of new Final Fantasy cards, and like I saw the Kefka one, and it's like that pivotal moment in Final Fantasy VI where you see Kefka poison a river, and like they just drew this amazing art for it, and it's really cool. It's like, oh, just to see all the art and see what the abilities are would be really fun, and to play like a few games with the Final Fantasy theme.
Yeah, actually, I will say, I believe Jay had posted them. They were going through the different types of cards, and there was like, I guess, a set of Magic cards that have the theme of like mice for whatever reason, but they were really cute. Like the mice in the Magic the Gathering kind of art style, if you will. I know it's like a multitude of artists, but they tend to converge, or fantasy style, if you will. And then they also posted some cards from the My Little Pony cards. So there was two types of sets, I guess. There was the My Little Pony set, which went more into the dark fantasy type of art illustrations. And those were actually really interesting to me. Like My Little Pony in a dark fantasy is just like not super gritty and gory, but different. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. And then they have the set where it's more of the actual cartoon anime illustrations. And I guess they did that because some of the My Little Pony people wanted like more of the original character illustrations.
Okay.
And I guess they're okay, but I like the fantasy style more.
Magic is always fun because of how crazy and good like the variety of artists making stuff in that is. So that's also like the appeal. Like I want to see like the Fallout art, or a bunch of Fallout stuff drawn in that. And like, again, like the Final Fantasy one, like the picture of Kefka poisoning the river is like really well done. It's like from under the water, and it's really cool.
Yeah. And it turns out like the mice deck, I guess, I don't know if it was specifically all mice were like the white color, but I thought it would be cool because when I dabbled in Magic the Gathering like over a decade ago, I tended to enjoy going and playing the white decks more.
Yeah.
And I had, I guess the lions and tigers and the cats were mostly white cards. So I'm like, oh my god, I want to play it like a cat and mouse white deck. That'd be so cool.
You know, I would really like to see, this isn't going to happen because they don't need to do this, but if Magic the Gathering did a game kind of like, I think the game was called Monster Train or something. And you're like in this train that would be going through hell, and like every few levels you'd pick up new cards and new monsters. And it was like a roguelike. So every time you're building a new deck with different monster cards. And I just want like a Magic the Gathering roguelike where like you start a run and be like, I'm gonna just pick a color or two, or maybe you slowly narrow it down as you're playing, and just you're gathering new monsters as you go through this adventure. And like, oh, that would be so fun.
And we should elaborate that you're talking about like PC game, card game play.
Yeah.
Because like I think WoW, when they first came out with their physical cards, I think they tried to set up almost the story thing, or was that just fighting other people?
Oh yeah, WoW had a physical card game, huh? I remember
for a
that.
very short while before
there was like a
Hearthstone.
turtle card that went crazy because like if you found that turtle card, you could get a mount or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
And then they made Hearthstone, which was obviously way better.
Mm.
Yeah, I want like a digital card game. I don't want to collect physical cards. They're cool and all, but I want to play against a computer in a randomized adventure.
Yeah.
That's like my ideal version of card games. Like I should be a huge fan of like Slay the Spire, but I've never played that. But I really do like Monster Train. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna feel like an idiot if I named it wrong, but more stuff like that. Well, I don't know. I guess we talked plenty this week, huh?
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
We're probably going to play more Minecraft and talk about Minecraft more. Maybe we'll try to find other things to talk about too, but hey, whatever. We're just here to have a good time and chill and relax with each other.
Yeah. Maybe sometime in the future or something we can try and figure out more of like, hey, how to play games while in a relationship or something. I don't know if
I think
gaming relationship advice is a niche that's needed or not.
Yeah, I was about to like go into something on that, but I guess we're pretty much at the end of the episode. So maybe that would be an interesting thing to talk about. How we have handled playing video games together and dealing with the fact that sometimes your partner doesn't want to play the games you want to play. And that's okay. Well, on that note, I guess
I guess we'll end it here for now.
Thanks for joining us again and hanging out with us.
And if you leave a rating and review on any platform and I manage to see it, I'll read it out in case that's a thing you enjoy. I think people kind of enjoy that, right? Getting their reader mail read out and stuff.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not against that.
Well, we'll see you next week. We love you. Bye.
Take care. See you later. Goodbye.